The U.S. China trade war is not just a clash of economic policies. It is a battle of egos, national pride, and the relentless pursuit of global dominance. Washington wields tariffs like a sledgehammer, indiscriminately smashing through diplomatic norms in an attempt to strong-arm Beijing into submission. Meanwhile, China, cloaked in the rhetoric of free trade, plays the long game, retaliating with calculated precision, while positioning itself as the world's economic savior. The hypocrisy on both sides is glaring, as each accuses the other of economic coercion while engaging in the very same practices they denounce. For decades, the U.S. profited from globalization, offshoring production to China to cut costs while amassing staggering corporate wealth. Now, faced with the consequences of its own policies, Washington cries foul, blaming Beijing for a trade imbalance it helped create. Meanwhile, China, long benefiting from state subsidies, intellectual property theft, and forced technology transfers, dares to claim the moral high ground, portraying itself as the victim of American aggression. The reality is that both sides have manipulated the system, rigging global trade to their advantage while masquerading as champions of economic justice. As tensions escalate, the global economy teeters on the edge of a crisis, fueled by reckless brinkmanship. Wall Street watches nervously as tariffs disrupt supply chains, inflate consumer prices, and inject uncertainty into markets already battered by inflation fears. The average citizen, caught in the crossfire of this economic warfare, is left to bear the brunt of rising costs and diminishing job security. Neither Washington nor Beijing appears willing to blink first, each staking their credibility on a battle that could plunge the world into financial chaos. This is not just a trade war, it is a fight for the future of global supremacy. Will the U.S. manage to preserve its economic hegemony, or will China cement its rise as the new global powerhouse? The stakes have never been higher, and the consequences could be devastating. Stay with us till the end as we unravel the brutal realities of this high-stakes showdown. Hello and welcome back to Innovative Check YouTube channel, where we delve into the innovative and transformative projects changing our world. If you're new to the channel and enjoy learning about innovation stories around the world, you've come to the right place. Please subscribe, like, and comment to help boost our videos on YouTube. China has launched a scathing critique of U.S. trade policies, warning that Washington's escalating tariff war threatens to destabilize the global economy, sow uncertainty in financial markets, and potentially trigger a worldwide recession. The confrontation, which has been intensifying under President Donald Trump's aggressive stance on trade, has sent shockwaves through international business circles, raising concerns about the fragility of the multilateral economic order. Trump's imposition of sweeping 10% tariffs on all Chinese imports has set off a retaliatory spiral, with Beijing swiftly responding with countermeasures, a formal complaint at the World Trade Organization, and warnings that these tariff shocks are injecting volatility into an already fragile economic system. The U.S. decision has rattled investors and multinational corporations, many of which rely on seamless global supply chains that are now facing disruption. With over $600 billion in annual trade between the two superpowers, the risk of economic fallout extends far beyond their borders. Speaking at a closed-door meeting of the WTO's General Council, China's ambassador to the trade body, Li Changgang, delivered a stern rebuke. The United States' reckless unilateralism is an existential threat to the rules-based global trading system. These tariff shocks do not just destabilize markets, they erode trust, amplify economic uncertainty, and heighten the risk of recession. The consequences of these measures will not be confined to China and the U.S., but will ripple through the entire global economy. The meeting marked a pivotal moment in international trade relations, with the WTO now formally confronted with a deepening trade conflict between the world's two largest economies. While some member states remain neutral, others voice concerns over Washington's growing disregard for the WTO's framework. The U.S., however, has yet to appoint a permanent trade representative in Geneva, leaving other nations uncertain about the direction the administration intends to take. The absence of a U.S. delegation capable of articulating its stance at the meeting has fueled speculation that Washington is not interested in resolving the dispute within multilateral institutions. Washington WTO Director General Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala has urged restraint, calling on all 166 member states to avoid retaliatory measures that could spiral into catastrophic trade wars. But her calls for diplomacy appear to have fallen on deaf ears. Beijing's move to bring its grievances to the WTO signals its intention to leverage the global trade body in countering Washington's aggressive policies, even as the Trump administration has openly questioned the legitimacy of the WTO itself. Trump's U.S. Trade Representative, Jamieson Greer, has previously called the organization deeply flawed, suggesting that the White House sees little value in adhering to its rulings. Just a quick reminder to hit the like button below. YouTube has been restricting my videos a lot recently because of bots, so your like does help out this video massively in terms of the algorithm in YouTube. As the diplomatic standoff is unfolding against a backdrop of growing economic unease, Wall Street has responded with heightened volatility, with major indices swinging wildly as investors digest the potential ramifications of a prolonged trade war. The Dow Jones Industrial Average (DJI) and the S&P 500 have seen sharp declines, while technology companies that rely heavily on Chinese manufacturing, such as Apple and Tesla, have warned of potential disruptions to their supply chains. Analysts fear that a continued escalation in tariffs could erode corporate profits, drive up consumer prices, and slow down economic growth in both the U.S. and China. Beyond the financial markets, American business owners and consumers are bracing for impact, with tariffs hitting a broad range of consumer goods, from electronics to household appliances. The cost burden is expected to fall on ordinary citizens. Retail giants like Walmart and Target have cautioned that prices on essential goods may rise, further fueling inflationary pressures. Meanwhile, Chinese exporters, already grappling with a slowdown in demand, are seeking alternative markets to mitigate the impact of U.S. tariffs. China's state media has been quick to portray the trade war as an example of U.S. overreach and economic aggression. The People's Daily, the official newspaper of the Communist Party, published an editorial condemning Washington's approach. The United States, through its reckless pursuit of economic dominance, is setting fire to the global economy. The so-called America First policy is, in reality, a strategy of economic bullying that disregards international norms and cooperation. If you are enjoying this video so far, please don't forget to subscribe, share the video, and comment. The rhetoric from Beijing underscores its broader strategy of positioning itself as the defender of free trade, even as its own economic model remains deeply protectionist. By appealing to global institutions such as the WTO, China is seeking to win over allies in the ongoing trade negotiations, reinforcing the narrative that it is a responsible stakeholder in contrast to an increasingly isolationist U.S. Meanwhile, across the Pacific, U.S. lawmakers remain divided on Trump's trade policy. While some members of Congress have supported the aggressive stance against China, others have expressed concerns that the tariffs could backfire, hurting American workers and businesses. Senate Finance Committee Chair Ron Wyden has called for greater transparency from the administration, warning that the trade war's long-term impact remains uncertain. Tariffs are not a strategy, they are a blunt instrument. We need a comprehensive trade policy that strengthens our economy without alienating our allies. The trade war also threatens to entangle key U.S. allies. European nations have expressed concerns that escalating tensions could spill over into their economies. The EU has previously warned that it may take retaliatory action if U.S. tariffs extend to European goods, a move that could further strain transatlantic relations. German Chancellor Olaf Scholz has urged restraint, calling on both Washington and Beijing to return to the negotiating table. A trade war between the world's two largest economies benefits no one. It is in our collective interest to find a path forward that supports global growth and stability. One sector particularly vulnerable to the trade war is the semiconductor industry, which plays a crucial role in global technology supply. It could shave percentage points off global GDP growth, with developing economies bearing the brunt of the impact. Despite the tensions, diplomatic efforts have not been entirely abandoned. U.S. and Chinese trade officials have held back-channel discussions in an attempt to de-escalate the situation. However, with both sides wary of appearing weak, any resolution remains elusive. The stakes could not be higher. If neither Washington nor Beijing backs down, the world may be headed for an economic reckoning of historic proportions. Thank you for your attention, and I welcome your thoughts and questions on this complex and vital subject. Do you want to watch more videos like this one? If yes, please like and share the video and subscribe to get exclusive videos about how phenomenally China is developing and growing its influence. Your subscriptions and likes motivate us to generate more content, so please keep supporting us. Check out this video showing on your screen right now, and I will see you on the other side.